Hi, my name is Chris Jecks, and here's a bit of background. Despite strong opposition to the Kansas-Nebraska Act and work on the campaign trail, Richard Yates lost his bid for re-election. But Abraham Lincoln found himself elected to the state legislature of Illinois. Lincoln had originally opposed the nomination to the state legislature. It could be viewed as a political step backwards, since Lincoln had already been elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. Mary Lincoln believed it was, and demanded that the nomination of Lincoln to the state assembly be removed. William Blame had found Lincoln to be, quote, the saddest man I ever saw, the gloomiest, end quote, over his nomination. Lincoln stated, quote, no, I can't. You don't know it all. I say you don't begin to know one half, and that's enough, end quote, over his nomination to the state assembly. Whatever Mary Lincoln's influence on the issue, Lincoln eventually agreed to the nomination for the state legislature because he had feared that if he did not put his name on the ticket, Yates would lose the election. But having won the election, Lincoln found himself in a new dilemma. Fortunately, the state assembly was narrowly controlled by forces opposed to the Kansas-Nebraska Act, a state assembly that would elect the next U.S. senator, probably a senator opposed to the Kansas-Nebraska Act. But unfortunately for Lincoln, it couldn't elect him now, because it was not allowed to elect its own members to the U.S. Senate. It's hard to say exactly when Lincoln believed he could become a U.S. Senator, but he did want to become one, later saying, quote, I would rather have a full term in the Senate than 4 years of the presidency, end quote. So Lincoln began writing to Charles Hoyt, Jacob Harding, Thomas J. Henderson, Joseph Gillespie, and in the letter included, Jonathan Scammon, to drum up support for his candidacy to the Senate. He also resigned his seat in the state assembly, making himself now eligible for the election to the Senate. Lincoln will eventually lose the close-fought Senate election, possibly because when he gave up his seat in the state legislature, it was won in a special election by a Democrat, Jonathan McDaniel. The loss of the seat by anti-Nebraska forces angered many of Lincoln's political allies in the assembly,